Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What is the worst insult you've suffered from someone who didn't even mean it is an insult? Was moving on from a job and on my second last day my manager says, "Take tomorrow off, no one will miss you." He later informed me that he had meant that I should finish a day early and that no one would mind. Lol, that's the kind of phrasing that gives you anxiety for years afterwards. Glad he clarified at least. Lol, I would be having the worst day off after hearing that. Was getting dressed one morning and my daughter came in before I had my shirt on. She's like 4 at the time and says, "Oh, you have boobs like mommy." There was no recovering from that. My kid likes to find any fat area on my body and hit on it because the jiggle is fun. I just smile and thank him for encouraging me to lose weight. Ha 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 ha. Ha. You can pay for college yourself. That reminds me of jiggling my dad's belly when I was a kid and telling him he must have eaten a lot of jello. 5-year-old asked me why I'm so hairy, and how does she keep this from happening to her? 'Cause it's gross. When I was 5 I asked my aunt why was she so fat. She told me it was because she was pregnant and she would be slim again in no time. My rude ass then said, "Nah, I don't think you are gonna," and then fucked off to be a nuisance to my mother. My auntie did slim back down. So in a sense I'm glad she proved me wrong after that nasty comment. I started getting asked if I qualified for a senior discount in my 40s. During COVID the local Maya had a senior hour in the morning where older people could shop. I was mad because I come to work super early and I could make senior hour but I'm in my early 40s. I was bitching to my coworker and she goes, "Just go in, you'll pass for a senior citizen." Quote. My boss pointing at me said to others, "He may be fat but he is most hardworking person here." A nicer way to say this would be, "He is worth his weight in gold." I can just imagine the initial smile you might feel in response to that gradually fading toward dejection over about 5 seconds. When studying martial arts I had an instructor try to teach me why a particular feint never worked for me. In order for that feint to work, your opponent must first respect your ability to complete the strike. Everyone here knows your abilities, so they don't fall for it. It was factually and technically accurate, and I understand what he was telling me. But, after thinking about it for not very long, I realized what sick burn it was. I started jiu-jitsu and getting your ass handed to you by literally everyone when you start, and learning to be humble was really eye-opening for me. In that context, I think I could see that your instructor was not trying to diss you, but help you improve by being honest. I was raised my whole life that you should never fail, but it has been so much easier and quite freeing that it is okay to fail and that is part of improving. That conversation and some others helped me see the difference between failing and flailing. You aren't even that ugly. Single quote. You aren't even that ugly. One word different but I've never forgotten it and it shaped my life from that day forward. From this day on, I knew that I was ugly and though I learned to accept it, it still hurts. Look. I had an amazing 3-month casual sex adventure with an amazing guy. I thought he was the bomb and we really bonded as friends. During pillow talk he talked about being ugly and being told so by other people. And I was like, what? Exclamation mark. I loved his skinniness, his beer belly, his freckles, his white skin, everything. I thought he was hella cute. He had a lisp and I didn't care. He looked like he was a character from a book. I tried to convince him of how good he looked but I'm not sure I succeeded. Of course I don't know you but there might be someone who's into your looks. You never know. Not to mention you change a lot every, 10 years. So after a while whatever someone said might not be applicable anymore. For me it was 8 years ago. My then crush said it after a third party called me ugly. It still hurts, but I am in a way better place now 8 years later. I recently got a very bright, very obnoxious Pac-Man hoodie. It is without a doubt the loudest thing I own. As I was heading out the door for work, my 3-year-old told me, "Remember Dad, if people laugh at you, you can always take your sweatshirt off." The best part is he was genuinely just trying to give me some supportive advice. He just accidentally gave me the best burn I've received in years. I was getting asked out by someone who said, "I know other men don't find you attractive, but..." I politely declined. Sounds like someone who came from the negging school of pickup artistry. What is negging? Kids are the best for this. "Daddy, why don't you use your weights anymore? Is it because you got fat?" Quote. There was a little girl I used to babysit, but I got a new job and couldn't anymore. I visited her family about a year after and she says to me, "You got bigger." Quote. I know that that's probably what she hears all the time from adults who don't see her often. Extended family, doctors, etc. But damn, I just burst out laughing when she told me. I said thank you and said she was bigger, too. My niece was talking to me one time and said something along the lines of, "Who was that other girl that lived here?" I was like, "It was me. I'm the only girl that lived here." To which she replied, no, that girl was skinny. Absolutely. Demolished. Look at that high-waisted man, he's got feminine hips. Quote, 13-year-olds will insult you in a way that's accurate. My best friend told me that I am only funny when I'm drunk. I was a recovering alcoholic and man did that hurt. Been there. I got a, I liked you better when you were still drinking, once. Like WTF.